But how did the Vogue retailer magnate go to be Scotland's largest individual landlord, and which is he planner to do in his extensive upland estates? Love hundreds of thousands of some tourists who fill in the Scotch Highlands each year, Mr. Povlsen was fascinated by its uneven beautiful while he attended foreign fishing feast in his parents in the 1980s. Too many decades after, Mr. Povlsen refundable to the nation he had fall in loving in, but the period, he was owning his receipt volume quite rather than a fishery stem. The Dutch entrepreneur, who is according to reports cost pound thanks to his bestseller clothing retailer Imperial Power, purchased the 42,000 Glenfeshie property in the Cairngorms for £8 metre in 2006. The property's Glenfeshie Gatehouse, that was constructed in 1880, continues to be as Mr. Povlsen's individual upland household, and has displayed in films and TV episode consisting the Corona and the Tsarina. With later, the 46-year-old multimillionaire, who is the largest solitary stockholder in the ASOS on the internet retail dealer, and his woman include extended to click up enormous swathes of the Scotch rural area. They now own on 220,000 acres through 12 estates. That makes them Scotland's largest individual landowners, on to several estimates, the largest in the UK. In adverts published in 2 Scotch newspapers on May 16, Mr. and Mrs. Povlsen stretched their sincere appreciation for the condolences, affection and lot-heating thoughts we include acquired next the tragical losing of our 3 favorite and nice family. They as well outlined the unchangeable, specific memories how the Scotch Highlands had taken into account to their household above the year. The Povlsens explain by themselves as custodians of their earth, that stretches through Sutherland and the Grampian Mountains, and are told to be routine visitors to their estates. They include as well previous spelled of their expect how the draft would carry harvest not fair for our own family but as well for the generations of visitors who, love us, conduct a profound devotion for the Scotch Highlands. Mr. and Mrs. Povlsen trust how the Highlands include been leftward ill corrupt of centuries of overgrazing by lamb and red reindeer on the estates of more than conventional landowners. The Grand Duke of Buccleuch is the largest visible of Scotland's conventional big landowners, possession on 200,000 acres, generally in the southward of Scotland. But latter year include seen the occurrence of a new rock of landlord, such as Mr. Povlsen. The multimillionaire governor of Dubai, Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, has as well been lively clicking up on 63,000 acres of Scotch earth. The Scotch by the government has as well taken to modernize the rules, hopeful more than society property. Yet, the nation's largest landlord remnant by the government agencies and social bodies who supervise enormous areas of earth on name of the nationality. They include embarked on an aspiring program that urged to recover home forest, peatland, marshland and rivers and kind on their estates, though the virgin collateral has been met in skepticism of several, who terror the pair's final purpose is to re-enter predators such as wolves and trot to their old upland habitats. In nature, it tool how human beings are anticipated to dwell lifetime in a pensive and humble path, and know to believe you are whatever specific. Down there is no denial the Povlsens dwell a quite underestimated lifetime in compare to largest some billionaires. They shipped their family to country schools, and Mr. Povlsen just newly replaced his VW game of golf in a Tesla electrical vehicle. On the some brush, purchase earth in Scotland that is valuable at more than rather than £100 metre is far of underestimated. Tim Kirkwood, head execution of Virgin, the Aviemore-based business that manages the Povlsen estates, says the pair are truly humble and lowly human beings who choose to be convicted by which they do and not which they tell. These actions involve landing a 500,000 trees on the Killie-Huntley property in the Cairngorms domestic garden, as reduction the numbers of lamb and reindeer on lot of the estates. Mr. Kirkwood says the Povlsens will put on £50 metre above the following 3-year one on dewilding projects through their estates, in the pledge of future invest above which is deliberate to be a 200-year draft by the household. He added, I cannot distress quite the is not earth property for the Saki of earth property. These plans are deliberate and for the length-term gain of the scenery and its ecological. By possessing uninterrupted lands, I believe it does assist supervise the scenery superior. It is lot facilitating to reach things, surely in a consecutive way rather than you would fight to reach in more than fragmented property. Mr. Kirkwood as well outlined the capacity reintroduction of kind such as wolves and trot as creature at the more than drastic late of the dewilding scope, in decisions on if it should occur for next generations to get, and no currently. He added, we are more than at the human beings and location end of the scope fair currently. It is more than essential to hammer front in these big-scale preservation projects. The Povlsen's wide Scotch earth and characteristic imperial power is nice news story for the Dutch social wallet, as Danes pay tax on all the earth they own, independently of wherever it is.